Hi, Mark Romero here. Welcome to part 3 of the Is Your Technology Killing You video series. I just want to kind of recap before we get into our content today. In the first video, we actually talked about how we are a magnificent expression of a field of energy. In this case, I call it the ultimate super internet. And we're kind of like biological supercomputers plugged into this ultimate super internet. There we have access to all the information, everything that we need to revitalize our health, our well-being, our levels of consciousness, and ultimately transform the world that we live in. I also shared with you some of the information that's emerging on how our technology, the Wi-Fi, the cell phones, the chemicals in our environment is actually disrupting this connection. And of course, just like your technology at home, if you get too far away from your Wi-Fi, you're not going to operate at the level of which you were designed. So we got to delve into that and really begin to learn how we're being impacted. In the second video, to go to my next page of extreme artwork here, I actually shared how we live in an environment that's filled with static and noise, using the radio dial as an example, and steps we could take immediately to begin to raise ourselves out of this static and noise and begin to reduce our stress and enhance our physical energy and our state of mind. And finally, today, what I want to do is not only is it possible to begin to raise ourselves, it is possible to completely remove ourselves out of that frequency wavelength so that you're no longer being negatively impacted. Let's face it, our technology is not going away anytime soon. The chemicals in our environment are not going away anytime soon. So why don't we just raise ourselves to a whole new frequency wavelength to where they no longer negatively impact us? And that's what we're going to talk about today. As many of you know, I first got introduced to this whole field, this whole energy domain, quantum physics thing around 8 years ago when a former top consultant to NASA discovered frequencies in my music that actually lift people above this, restoring harmony and balance to their energetic fields, dramatically reducing stress, increasing physical energy, and improving brain function. I want to share with you a video clip from a live presentation that I did where I actually demonstrate the effects of the music and how it helps to eliminate the negative effects of our technology. Check it out.
So first thing we're going to do is I want you to, I'm sure all of you are familiar with applied kinesiology, correct? Most of you? Basically, the wonderful body that we have knows what's good for it and what isn't. And when you get exposed to something that isn't good for it, guess what happens? It goes weak. And when it gets exposed to something that's good for it, guess what? It stays strong. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push down. I want you to push up with all your might. I want you to resist. Okay, you ready? Resist. Do not mess with her. Okay? She comes in a little package, but she is strong. So now what I want to do is I want to repeat the test, this time with, anybody ever use one of these? This time I'm going to hold it in front of you. No, okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Resist. I thought you were going to resist.
Wow.
Well, let's try it again. Okay, come on. Come on, try hard. You ready? Resist. She's trying hard. Okay. So interesting. So that was really an example. When we're exposed to EMFs, electromagnetic fields, we're actually compromising our energy and our connection to the field. We're going to do a little balance test. You're going to see how your balance is. Do you have a bad back, bad shoulders, or anything? Okay, good. We're good to go. I want you to grab my fist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply downward pressure in your hand. I want you to stay stiff, resist. Don't let me bend you. Don't let me tip you. Just resist. Become inflexible like the oak tree. Sound good?
Like the oak tree.
Something like that. You get what I mean, right? Okay, ready? Resist. Okay. I thought you were going to resist.
Okay.
Is that the best you can do? Repeat the test with some music playing. How does that sound? All right, so let's see if I can do this correctly here. Okay, feet and toes are together. Great. I'm going to repeat the test, grab my fist. Ready? Ready? Resist. So now, wait, come on. What happened? Wait a second. Feel a little difference? Now, I'm curious now, what would happen this up. Remember the test we did before? Resist when I say resist. Are you ready? Resist. Wow, I'm like going, she's like strong again with the music. Let's give her a hand.
Isn't that cool? I mean, I just was like blown away by this discovery. Well, I got to admit, for years I thought, maybe it's the type of guitar I use. I really asked the question, why is this coming through my music? Why is this happening? And I remember going, the guitar is made in Spain. Maybe it has something to do with the wood they use. Maybe it's the notes, it's the tones that I play. I wasn't really sure. And then one day, my wife, Dr. Lara, called me from the park. Now, Lara's always been one to push me beyond my comfort zone. So sure enough, she did not fall short of that expectation. She called me up. She goes, hey, I'm here at the park. I just got this intuitive hit that you can do this energy work without music. And I'm like listening on the other end going, okay. She goes, I want you to send energy to my friend Candace here at the park. She goes, just do it and let's see what happens. So I did. She gets back on the phone and she goes, oh my God. She goes, I knew it. She goes, you just sent energy from 2.5 miles away to my friend Candace here. She had all the increases in her strength, flexibility, endurance, coordination, and balance, like you saw in the previous video. She goes, this is absolutely amazing. So what I want to do is I want to show you this next video where I actually demonstrate this on stage. Take a look.
Resist. Okay, you ready? Resist. Okay, same result. Very cool. So I go downstairs. I go, honey, I got this intuitive hit idea, man. I don't know if I want to do this, but I'm going to check it out and see what happens. She goes, okay. So I go up to her and I go, let's do the balance test and see what happens. Feet and toes together. I'm going to repeat the test. Ready? Resist. And I'm like, oh, I don't need the music to shift people's energy. Man, that, right now I could hear Twilight Zone music playing.
Isn't that cool? Out of this discovery, I realized that it's possible to infuse this energy in jewelry so that people that wear the jewelry can keep their energy in tune 24/7. Not only that, you can actually shift the energy to a house and change the energy of a complete living environment. Thereby, the people living in this house aren't impacted by the cell phones, the Wi-Fi, the smart meters, and the different disruptive waves that we're all being exposed to in our living environment, thereby making it completely possible to lift ourselves above the static and noise of the modern day world 24/7. We can't solve 21st century problems with 20th century states of mind. We have to open up to a whole new possibility. I believe this is the beginning of an amazing revelation, something that we can all learn how to do to begin to transform our lives and ultimately transform the world that we live in. I wanted to point out there's a link below me on this page that you can go in and check out the Ultimate Energy Harmonization Package. It's my most comprehensive package for basically lifting you and your loved ones above that static and noise. And it's available at a special price just for being part of this video series. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Please ask your questions, share your comments. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a fantastic day.